Good morning, everybody. I've been adding just a little bit of chicken over here too. Stripe doesn't care about it. He prefers squirrel. But Morris has been eating it. Hi guys. Yeah, I was just looking at the forecast for the weekend and we have lows in the 40s. Look like only 2 nights though before it slips back up into 50s, mid 50s, so not a big deal. But I will turn on the heating pads here. And I was just wondering if it was my Serenade camellia, it's time for it to bloom. It's a fall bloomer. If it was blooming, and I looked over here and sure enough I've got blooms getting ready to open, a lot of them. And I have a couple that have opened. Very pretty. And there are several of them in the yard, although that's the oldest. Oh yeah, over here too. And this one's a different color. I can see it. It's darker. They haven't all... They're just now getting established enough to be blooming, big enough to bloom. This one has several blooms on it also, but this is a darker color. Very pretty. And since we got rid of the stilt grass over here, they're not buried in, and that one must have been open a few days and I just hadn't noticed. Hi, you gonna come walk with me? You know, you can appreciate them, enjoy them now. And of course the 2 beauty berries here, 1 and 2, and a 3rd one over there, they have berries all nice and opened up on them right now. But this is a Serenade. I see some blooms on it down at the bottom. Not a lot this year. This one over here, which I don't see any blooms on that one. I fertilized it the other day. All I can do is keep fertilizing. And then there's one more over here, which is a little bigger. I'm such a huge camellia fan. Yep, it's got some blooms in here too. That fern's kind of ugly in there. Maybe I'll clean it, but there's one that's open and I see a few closed ones, so it is has flowers too. But this one should be really big and showy, and it was planted 10 years ago, so it's really big now. It mixed up in there with the holly tree, looks a little bit like a hedge. Hi, bud. Hey, Panther. Good morning. Oh. I was pulling some stilt grass in the side yard. It was starting to grow around my gazing globe and the hydrangea over there, the dogwood tree underneath it. I pulled out, oh, I don't know, 30 or 50 pieces. We knew we would have to do maintenance. I don't see him right this minute, but Stripe came around front. I sure have enjoyed these impatiens here by the house. I will definitely plant those pots with impatiens next year too. They even self-seeded themselves into the base of that Japanese maple there. Yeah, they really like the shadier spot here in the front. Although it gets very late day sun, which can be very hot in the summer. Hi, Missy. Good morning. Come here. Hi, sweetheart. Come here. Nice empty bowl from the night before. Good girl. Good girl. There was a little work going on behind us. They were digging. And they are over here again today.
Back.
Well, we'll see if any of the 6 poles disappear today.
You want to park here?
Sure. We haven't walked the trail in a few days. If they come over here and start working, they'll just have to deal with us. We tried to give them space.
They tended to sit up there on the grass. They never really came way over here.
Right, they were never near where Jules's parking space is. I just meant as far as using the pedestrian crosswalk, they'll just have to allow us to pass to come back to the car. Yeah, there's a big park referendum coming up in the November 7th vote. It's, it's a ton of stuff, including, well, I don't know if the money for the better bathrooms back there at our little park is already approved or if it needs to be approved and they just put out the plan. I'm not sure, but here's the rain monitoring device Don said he saw yesterday that I walked right past.
Yeah.
And I say you're not observant.
Yeah.
It usually is icy stuff and he doesn't, but every once in a while. Yeah, there's more stuff on the other side of town at the golf course at Community Center North, because we're going to start to be known as Community Center South. And there's just a ton more stuff. So Don and I don't get to vote on that because we don't technically live in the city. I would certainly vote for it if I were voting in the city elections. The one commissioner that got voted out last time is running again, and it baffled the mind that he got voted out, in my opinion. He's the one that does the Today in the Quay newsletter and Facebook page, and has a really positive attitude and a cute little girl. And anyway, Jason Wunsch, I guess is his last name, W-U-N-S-C-H, and I'm hoping that he'll get put back on the board. He's a very active and dedicated commissioner despite a busy family life and working as a lawyer down in Lillington at a branch that he started, an office he started. So a firm, I guess that's the right word, a firm. It's not a bank, Marianne, it's a lawyer's office. Anyway, I hope he gets voted back in. We'll see. He was one of the guys that helped put in the splash pad. I really boggled the mind that people would have thought that he had done anything that deserved voting him out. So, out of the sun into the shade. It's pretty nice out here. It's a little after 10:30, so we're a smidge later than normal on our walk. I had something I had to attend to before we left the house. So anyway, it's pretty pleasant out here and no rushing today. I have to take Midnight to the vet for his yearly shots, big boy. But that appointment's not till 1:30, so we've got plenty of time. I like not being in a rush today. We had seen some line markings in the park the other day and surmised that where the power comes in at the street and comes across the park, and I would guess this marking has to do with stuff going to be happening for the church. Maybe. I don't know. Guess we'll find out. More utility workers to quote unquote stalk.
Yeah, but I think it gets back to that marking is only good for 8 days. If you call the no cuts people, they certify your thing for 8 days. And if you don't finish in 8 days, I think it's the thing, you got to call them again. And it's been more than 8 days since we saw those marks, so I think the city called them back out here. I don't know. The first one is free. I don't know what the recheck is. There may be a fee, but again, in the case of the city and or a big company like Duke, they probably have a different contract with the no cuts people.
So he's got a piece of equipment here too. His truck is over there, and you can see the new lines and stuff over here. Like I said, some of this was out here the other day and some of it is additional marking. I've got about 45 minutes before I need to crate up Big Boy and head to the vet. We walked with Miss Rosa today. More good conversation. I got a selfie. Hopefully it looks okay, and I'll put it in the opening pictures. And yeah, it's warmed up nicely now at 74. Don's my cat lifter. Well, he weighs almost 15 pounds. Him and Marty, they're quite chunky. It's Big Boy. It's midnight, so. All right, well, I know you'll pop out when you hear the driveway alert to carry him back in the house, poor fella.
Yeah.
We won't be gone long.
All right.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's fun dealing with scared cats, The majority of that green that sprung up is not stilt grass. It's some other sort of stuff, and I don't know, I guess if it gets a little taller, the weed eater might be effective with it, but right now it's not. It kind of looks, I don't know, clovery. But it's not the stilt grass. But yeah, we're gonna probably have to do something about that too. Darn it. Or the frost will take care of it, one of the two. Okay, I'm prepared to stop. Stuff happening over here. And it looks like digging, as Dawn had said this morning. They were digging something in there. I missed it. Nothing happening over here on the curve though. They're still over there, however. Right down to the Fuquay inspections. Okay, he's not part of this. He stops in there frequently. Probably to do paperwork or use the restroom. Oh, it's not that bad. Nobody's even done anything yet. Other than doing a lot of loud meowing, Midnight did fine at the vet. And his lungs sounded clear and everything, so we briefly talked about a steroid shot for asthma, but did not do that because he seems fine. Maybe he just had a little upper respiratory and his symptoms were different than Gray's. I hadn't really put 2 and 2 together, but it's possible. So he's all good for a year and nobody else has to go until January, and in January that's Gray. Actually, let me back that up. Nighttime goes November the 8th, and then nobody else goes until January. That's right, we did find nighttime needed to go soon enough to make an appointment. Nobody else soon enough to make an appointment. Midnight seems to be doing fine. He just came out of the crate and he's good. Nighttime's here. You know, I'm going to work on Lego, so she wants to help. I am going to try to build this 427 part Jack Skellington's house, Nightmare Before Christmas. It's all black and dark bluish gray. Maybe there's some light bluish gray. Anyway, it's highly likely I have these pieces. So I do have to pull them all, but hopefully it won't be... hopefully I can do it in one session. I've got a couple hours before it's time to start dinner. We're having surf and turf tonight. Won't take too long to fix it. So I ought to be able to build for a bit. There are 80 steps and I am on step 19. Couple times today I really had to hunt parts, so it took some time. This is the most interesting set of stairs I have ever seen constructed in Lego. This person did a phenomenal job. It's inverted, 75 slopes, kind of sideways. So this is on the bottom and this is eventually going to be set somewhere on top over here. The only thing I haven't had so far is the 2 fence pieces. I'm kind of out of fence pieces. At least that I know where they are anyway. I am now up to step 41 of 80. This is supposed to be dark blue and I just don't have it. So I substituted pink until I can do something about it. But it is on the inside and not particularly noticeable. So kind of neat there how they did the windows. Anyway, it's coming along good. It's 8:30. I'm stopping for the night, and maybe I'll have some more time to work on it on Friday or over the weekend. And it's about halfway. There's a lot of roof detail, so that's why I'm only halfway, even though I'm up on the second story of the building.